And we are live. Party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rocking in Nick's universe. I am rocking, and so are you, with the big boss man's round table. And introducing, without further ado, the man in charge, doesn't hold his tongue, straight to the point, the big boss man himself. Woodshed 1914 is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Man,
I clipped the applause button and nothing happened. The big boss man roundtable. I mean, the big boss man himself, Woodshed 1914. There it is. Okay. Wood, what's good, bro?
what's going on, man? Here we are sitting at 40 and 27.
41.
41, my bad. 41 and 27. Fresh off of victories over the Kings and the Warriors. With the Denver Nuggets on deck with revenge on their mind.
Yep.
So, that begs the question. The last time we played the Nuggets, we made them look soft.
Yeah.
So the question that I have that may trigger some people is, should we consider OG Anunoby soft? Not, and I'm not just talking about this year, but just
In general.
over the course of his career. And I was one of the main ones saying trade for the guy. But over the course of his career, he's played probably an average of maybe 60 games.
Yeah.
Like and as far as I know, he hadn't torn any Achilles. He hadn't torn any ACLs. I don't remember hearing about any broken bones or anything of that nature.
Not in the NBA, not since high school. Yeah.
Not since going to the league, but
Yeah.
routinely 60 games, 65. I don't think he's played 70 games yet,
Right.
like in his career. Now he was howling like a werewolf the other night when he got bumped on that right elbow. So the question is going to be: is he? Because we right up against the playoffs. Like not even a month from now, it's playoff time.
Yeah.
Like we are literally right up against the playoffs. So is he going to be willing and comfortable? Let me not say willing. Is he going to be comfortable playing through pain? Because when you have a surgery of that magnitude, with the NBA season running through like May or June, he probably going to be dealing with some level of pain for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season. Yep.
So the question is, can he be comfortable playing through the pain? And can he still be OG Anunoby? The reason I say that is because we are, I want to say 15-2 when the dude plays.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's a 72-win team.
That's a 72-win team, bro.
That's a historically great NBA team when he's on the floor with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Historically great.
Yeah.
Team. The January, and we being real about the month of January, who hated the Knicks were saying, look, they look like the best team in the league.
Yeah.
They're like the best team in the league. And I mean, like, anytime you go through a month and win 12 games and lose like 2 games, like, that's unheard of. So I think that's the biggest question. As we see with Brunson, every time you think Brunson hit his ceiling, he does something else.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you know who else does that? Isaiah Hartenstein. Every time you think, man, I think this is as good as this get. This guy is making plays from the free throw line extended now. Handling the ball, finding cutters like him and Josh Hart. And all those boys got chemistry now. So every time you think, okay, this is who Hartenstein's gonna be, you see something else. You see another wrinkle. Now he's shooting the floater with confidence. So now if he's open from 10 feet, he's gonna take the shot. So it's a lot of things that are in question, but the biggest question is he going to be tough enough to say, you know what, man, my elbow is going to feel like crap for the rest of the season, but I got to play through it. Like, if the playoffs started tomorrow,
right,
I have no doubts that Julius Randle will say, just amputate it. I got to play.
Right.
I'm not even second guessing whether or not he will try to play. You know what I'm saying? But with OG, we just don't know. because now it goes to, well, he's going to be out against Golden State for sure. So he may miss a couple games. So he may be out for a while. And with the Knicks in this particular front office, you never get cut and dry on injuries. You just don't know. You just don't know. And some people say, well, that's good. I mean, it is what it is. So
Right.
that right there is what I won't say is going to make or break the season, but it definitely will determine whether or not we going home in round 1, round 2, round 3. The finals is going to play a huge, huge impact because right now, barring a situation where, because here's what I would like to happen, man. I would like for Miami to be the 8th seed because it's something about Spoelstra and that Heat team. They don't fear anybody.
No.
You can give them the Bucks, you can give them the Celtics, and they can come out on the top of a series.
Yeah.
They just beat the Celtics last year and the Bucks.
Yeah.
So if they get the 8th seed, I mean they get Boston round 1. I mean you may be able to get through there without having to go through the team that beat us like 4-0 so far this year.
Yeah.
So I mean it's funny how things work out, but I'm hoping that they get the 8th seed.
Right.
Well, I mean, as long as they ain't the 4th or 5th seed, then it's one of the top seeds got to play them anyway. So it is, yeah. Not that I'm afraid of Miami. I just want Miami to knock off the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, and the thing about that too is not that we fear Miami or Boston for that matter. Is how about the Knicks catch a break sometimes?
Exactly.
Why other franchises catch all the breaks and we always deal with adversity, bro? Their adversity, but the Boston Celtics adversity is, oh man, we have to wear the black jerseys instead of the white jerseys. And we out here with our entire front court missing 30 games.
Oh man, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like when you think about the injury situation in New York, it's literally comical, man. Like it's comical. Like it's almost like we went back in a time machine. Back in the days of Clyde Frazier, dudes played 43 minutes a game, and that was it. Right. It was normal for dudes to play 40 minutes a game. Now we live in a day and age where dudes play 40 minutes games back to back, and then we get upset about it. And I think that Josh Hart is coming alive at the right time. If the Knicks get this version of Josh Hart in the playoffs,
right,
it's gonna be a tough out. And I mean a tough out for anybody because those long rebounds, he gobbling all those up.
Yep.
So as to me so far, it's probably Deuce McBride, man. And we all love Deuce, and we knew he had the talent to contribute. But the dude was the second option the other night. He checked Steph Curry, dropped 29, and held Steph scoreless in the 4th.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't see that too often.
No, you don't. No, you don't see that too often. That's what we were expecting from Dante DiVincenzo, right? Be able to guard the other team's best backcourt player and put up about 18 to 20 points, knock down 3 or 4 threes. Dante just hadn't been able to produce that, right? And adding Deuce gave you that element.
Right. Right. And his defense, man, like, and you can look at his offense too. You see a little bit of Jalen Brunson in his game now, man, with the pivots, the step backs. Like Deuce is doing some things that he wasn't doing before. Right. So it's good to have this is why you want to have your young players around those uber talented guys so they can pick up things from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you start to watch him, he's evolving. And the reason Deuce has the potential to be dangerous is because he's got the mid-range game.
Oh boy!
Like I went and look and for like something is off there because when I go and look at the percentages for mid-range, it's kind of like middle of the pack. But when I watch the games, I'm like, there's no way this dude shoots 39% from mid-range. Like something is off there because he's showing he can have a full bag, like finish, pull up, shoot all the way out to the 3-point line. So I think Deuce can be a good player, man. And I think that teams are gonna start calling about him after the season.
Yeah.
So
On the injury note, man, I gotta ask this, right? I'm in the mindset that I think I'm in the mindset that so I think I'm in the mindset that the injury bug thing is so crazy. It makes me wonder if Leon Rose pushed the old lady down at the crosswalk. Yo, did Tom Thibodeau step on a crack in the sidewalk? Right? Did a black cat cross Jalen Brunson's path? You know what I'm saying? Because
it's unbelievable.
Because the injury thing, mind you, the injury thing didn't start this season. The injury thing started last season, and we navigated through it. Right? If you remember, Grimes was hurt last year. Mitch was hurt last year. Hartenstein was hurt last year. Brunson with the sprained wrist. Remember the 2 or 3 sprained wrists from Brunson last year?
I remember that.
Randall with the bruised tailbone and the sprained ankles. Too. Yeah. You remember RJ being out? RJ being out this year? I mean, quickly missing. Bro, I'm telling you, there's a chance that the Knicks could be reigning NBA champs today if Quickly doesn't get hurt in Game 5. Remember Bam Adebayo dove on his ankle in Game 5?
Yeah, I remember that.
People forget about that, right? People forget about that. In that Game 6, we were missing that ball handler, right? In that Game 6, we were missing that ball handler, bro. We could have beat. Now, is it likely we would have been the NBA champs? No. But could we have beat Miami if Quickly played? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because there were times in that Game 6 where Josh Hart had to initiate offense last year in that Game 6. But
yeah, I remember that. And then the thing about him was, for some reason, like, he was shooting so poorly. Like, they were legit defending him by just playing 10 feet off. Like, bro, shoot it. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. Just shoot it. And I think the injury bug is definitely an issue, man. It's definitely an issue. And the thing I can't get over is it seems like every time the Knicks have something together, like, I'm gonna be honest, the '99 season. Now that Spurs team was loaded, but if we just would have had Pat there just to even be any sort of gravity, we could at least push that thing to 7 games, bro. We could at least push it to 7 games. At least.
I want to romanticize that. I want to romanticize that, bro. But no, I'm not with. Man, Pat Ewing was 36 years old, bro. 37. I'm sorry.
He had one foot in retirement, but like we had like no one
at 37 years old.
Not
Taj look like at 37 this year, right? And that's with the best training, private jets, all of that stuff. And you're talking about Pat Ewing 25 years ago, bro? I don't know, man.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. We had Campbell. We had some respectable defense, but we had no inside threat. Like,
and Larry Johnson was hurt too. Don't forget Larry Johnson was hurt in that NBA Finals too.
Yeah, they blitzed us. They blitzed us. I'm surprised they won a single game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the injury thing is funny. I think that they're going to try to skate by. Like, I don't think Mitch is coming back anytime soon. Just being honest, like, I don't. If the playoffs started tomorrow, Mitch might play. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I think Randall would definitely play. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I think OG would definitely play. But the thing that people have to keep in mind is the difference between being in shape and in game shape.
And in game
shape.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't care how much you practice, how much you work on the side, how much you do individuals, how much you do pro and 5-on-5 runs. I don't. You cannot simulate game shape.
Yeah. You
You just can't.
you can't simulate professional sport.
You, you,
Bro,
you can't.
it would if I told you right now that you had to try out for your high school basketball team at your age, at your high school basketball team right now, bro, what kind of shape you think you'll be in for high school basketball?
I wouldn't make it through the first hour.
Bro, that's
I wouldn't make it through the first hour.
what I mean. Yo, for high school basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then college is like a new universe. But the NBA, man, look, man. I go to games frequently, right? Over the last year, this year I probably only gone to 4 games because of reasons or whatever. Y'all know what it is. But
Right.
historically, I try to catch about 20 something type games a year. Right. That's on the low end, right? Man, listen. When cats be calling Zion fat and out of shape, bro, you look at Zion, you know what Zion looks like in real life, bro? Julius Peppers.
Yeah,
Right?
and see, that's how I can tell when people have not been to a lot of games because like when you look at LeBron in an NBA game on TV, you think he this stout, built up guy.
Right.
He's really not. He's
LeBron
really
is
more of a
skinny, bro.
slender. He's more of a slender dude. And then you look at Zion on TV, thinking Zion's this big fat round dude. No,
Yeah.
Zion is he's pretty much an average build, but he's got a football player type shape.
Bro, that
So
dude's ankles, I bet you Zion's ankles are like toothpicks, bro.
yeah,
When you look at Zion, bro, when you look at Zion, bro, that dude is not like a pulling guard build, bro.
nah,
That dude is stout shoulders, chest, arms, bro. That dude is strong, bro. That dude looks like I tell you who he has a build like. If y'all remember wrestling, if anybody remember wrestling, look at dudes like a very early um rock. A very early rock. No abs, you know what I'm saying? Shoulders, chest, and arms. Right? People think that man looked like Warren Sapp. No, man, that dude looked like the right man. That dude is
nah,
I bet you right now Zion is like a 35, 36-inch waist right now. And that's
probably,
big.
yeah, probably.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, man. And so when to your point about dudes coming back from injury and things of that sort, bro, it's no joke, bro. It's no joke. And then they have the best of the they have those what do you call it? They have the treadmills where you wear the mask and the oxygen is fit. You know what I'm talking about? The suspension treadmills. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about? Like with bro, yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned them because I was telling somebody earlier today, New Orleans is getting healthy, and I think they can get by Denver. I think they got a shot to make the finals. Like I think New Orleans has everything they need to make the finals. Like their length and athleticism is crazy,
Crazy, bro.
crazy. I watched one of their games the other night. They had Herb Jones starting at the 2.
Yep. Yep.
I said, man, this team here, if they get healthy and stay healthy, they're gonna be a problem.
They are gonna be a problem,
They
bro.
they're gonna be a serious problem. And they got depth, they got talent, they got superstar talent on the roster. They got proven vets that have played in the playoffs and went, past the first round. Brother, that team, like, I want to see how we match up against that team healthy. Because that team, man, if not this year, they definitely probably got a serious shot next year. Minnesota looks good, of course. I think that OKC will I think playoff jitters will get to them a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, Denver, Minnesota, New Orleans, and you can't just throw the Lakers away. You can't just throw them away. I mean, if they get a favorable matchup, you could look up and they'll be in the conference finals again. But hopefully, we get these guys healthy enough to where we can make a run at it. Because I'm tired of saying wait for next year. Like
I think
I'm tired of that.
and to your point, bro, I would say if you're Phoenix or Dallas, you don't want to see the Lakers coming off that play-in win.
Nah. But did you look at the play-in? The play-in out west is crazy. It's like the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Suns, and the Warriors.
Yeah,
Like, man, it's crazy.
it's
You got
crazy,
four
bro.
teams that everybody would say are title contenders in the play-in.
In the play-in, right?
Now, I'm like,
Right.
that's crazy. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Luka Doncic all in the play-in.
All in the
That's
play-in.
nuts.
That's
That's nuts.
bro. I would say the dark horse, my dark horse to win the NBA championship, and I think they're possible. I think they have a possibility of winning it coming off the outside rail is the Knicks, right? Because I think the whole OG Anunoby is 15-2. The Knicks are 15-2 with OG Anunoby. And listen, 15-2 with OG Anunoby without Mitchell Robinson. And part of that, and I think there are 3 games without Julius Randle. That man has not lost a game with the Knicks without Julius Randle. And if you're and I know people are gonna say that seeing is believing, and sure, but if you take the seeing is believing approach, you have to say the same thing about Milwaukee, right? You hadn't seen them win a championship with Doc Rivers as the coach. You have to say the same thing with Boston. Seeing is believing. They have not won a championship with Joe Mazzulla, right? You have to say the
Yeah.
same thing about Cleveland. So if in full disclosure, if you're being fair, if you're not being a hypocrite, all these teams that are stacked up at the top of the Eastern Conference all have a point to prove. Nobody has done it with their current iteration of a team. Nobody, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the Celtics changed point guards and center. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, so it's one of them things. What are you going to do?
Well, I just know that the team that we're looking at right now, even with the guys out, like, and this is why we've had these conversations for years and years and years and years on why having a superstar in the building is so important. When you have a guy like a Brunson or a Carmelo that can give you a 40, like give you a 4 and not have to take 35 shots to do, can go 19 for 28 from the field and give you 45 points. It takes so much pressure off your role players. Like it makes their job so much easier
Right.
that, you know, if you start putting high caliber role players, another all-star player with that, you get a 15-2 type run. That's pretty much what you have.
Right.
So, I mean, as long as Brunson can stay relatively healthy, which they knocking the hell out of him right now. So we got
Yeah.
to we might have to form a press circle for Brunson because they knocking the hell out of him right now.
Yeah.
So and I was watching the game the other night, and I'm looking, and every play, Brunson looking at the ref like, "Hey, that's a foul, bro." They not calling it.
Play on.
Adam Silver said 2 weeks ago, "Look," he said, I'm talking to the competition committee. We trying to get this thing more physical, and that's what they doing. The
Yeah.
calls that you got in October, November, December, they ain't calling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are not calling it, and it's not just a Knicks thing. The Knicks were knocking the hell out of some players too, and they
Yeah.
didn't call it.
It's an NBA
It's,
thing.
it's an NBA thing. So we got to keep it a buck, man. It's some dudes that flop all over the place. Our very own Jalen Brunson is one of the dudes that flop all over the place.
King Flopper.
We got to keep it real with that. He ain't the only one. Trey Young flop all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes in the NBA. Mainly your small guards, but they flop all over the place. And right now, the NBA has said, "Look, we ain't gonna call it."
Hey, and Wood, to your point, the point that you're just making, right? And in chat in these last 5 minutes, I'm gonna put Woodshed 1914 to the grill. right? And I know that sounds like an ironic pun, right? How are you going to grill the woodshed if y'all know what woodshed means, right? But here's the thing. For the reasons that you just mentioned, I think that's why that reason right there that you just mentioned is the reason why the Knicks are the dark horse to win the championship. Because before these calls were being made, the Knicks were the most physical team in the NBA.
Yep.
Right. And now when you take the rules away from these finesse teams like the Boston Celtics, right? Like the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
Right. When you take the rules away from them and bring them back to physical teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks, I think you balance the playing field. And for that, and now if you give a team like the Knicks, this is who they are, and you bend the rules, and not bend the rules, but change the rules to make it more fair for teams like the Knicks, right? But take it away from teams like the Celtics, who can go ISO, and every time Jason Tatum is touched, they call foul. Now he's got to be physical at 210 pounds. Think about this. Jason Tatum at 6'9", 210 now has to be a physical point guard, a physical power forward. Nah, bro, they're going to wind up moving that Batman back to the 3 and going out and getting them a power forward. But guess what the Knicks have at power forward? The Knicks have two dudes at 245 and above at power forward, and Precious Achiuwa, Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? You might give OG Anunoby some run there at 235, 240, whatever he is. Right. Julius Randle legit weighs more than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar weighed in his prime. Right. And Julius Randle has never had a problem playing physically. His thing with playing physical basketball is he was too physical. He had Giannis crying to the refs on a nationally televised ESPN game on a Friday night. Randle too physical. And y'all all heard that man crying to the refs. We heard Giannis. We were doing the live stream. We were doing the watch along when Giannis went to the ref like this. Randle too physical. You gotta call Randle. Hey, bro. Nah, bro. They swallowing their whistles now, homeboy. And if you
it's if you look across the league, it ain't too many dudes. Like Brunson is because I made the comparison. I said Brunson's advantage is not just crazy footwork, but he's built like a running back. Like him and Emmitt Smith got the same build. Yep. So he has an advantage over your average NBA player because he's stronger than they are. Like Brunson could probably be a halfback in the NFL, straight up. Right. He got the feet forward, he got the build forward. So he's one of those football players that plays basketball, but is actually good at basketball. So he has an advantage over really anybody that's going to check him outside of your freaks like OG and Paul George, those type of guys. He gonna have the advantage on. So he gonna complain a lot. He gonna probably flop all over the floor, but he has the strength.
He's not gonna complain publicly, but he will ride the refs though.
Yeah, and like that one game, him and Tibbs was on the ref. I was like, oh come on, y'all, like come on, fellas, come on. But he has the strength to finish through contact, whereas Trae Young, he don't. Tyrese Maxey, he don't. And that's why when we play Philly, you notice Tyrese Maxey takes a ton of threes when we play them. Yeah. Because if he plays the Knicks between Deuce and OG, somebody putting a body on Dude.
Yeah.
So if his 3-point shot ain't falling, you get a 30-point blowout. So I'm just gonna put it this way. The question that will determine the ceiling of the remainder of this year is OG tough enough? Because the pain is gonna be there, bro. They had to split your elbow open to take a foreign body out, bro.
Yeah,
like that's not just simple as a knee scope. Like that's a legitimate procedure. So is he gonna be comfortable playing through pain for the rest of the year to help us chase this chip?
Right.
Because that's what's on the line right now. A legitimate opportunity to win an NBA championship is on the line for the New York Knicks. Not some fluky nonsense where well this person get hurt. No, if this team is healthy enough, they can beat anybody in the league.
Right.
Anybody in the league.
Right.
If I would have told somebody 5 years ago that hey, the Knicks gonna be smashing the Warriors. They're gonna play the Warriors at 10:30 at night, second game of a road trip, and they're gonna smash them. You wouldn't believe it.
Right.
They're gonna mop the floor with Joel Embiid Sixers. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna destroy the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like they're killing teams. So we're to that point where if we being honest, if you look at the East, Cleveland looks dangerous, but I don't know who's going to show up, who's not going to show up in the playoffs.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell is out for a week with his nose injury.
Yeah, so there's an opportunity. Like the second seed is not out of the question.
Hey, can I give you my Jalen Brunson comp though, just real quick before we get too far removed from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've seen online, and even State of the Knicks podcast, salute to State. He said that the comp is Allen Iverson, and I once thought that too, because of his craftiness around the basket. But now, the more I think about it, listening to what you had to say, and that's what happens when you listen to smart people. When you listen to smart people and you get more information, sometimes you just change your mind, right? And so I'm going to change my mind here. I'm going to say, based off of what Woodshed said, I think Jalen Brunson is probably more in line with the crafty.
Wait. Did he play in the Western Conference?
Yes.
I know you're talking about. Go ahead.
Did he play for a team that you just mentioned? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Is he? Did he have a son play in the NBA? Absolutely.
He did. Yep.
Did his son play for the Knicks? Absolutely.
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, but see, some people don't really go far back with comparisons though. Jay, I'm gonna tell you. The other day I was thinking, and I said, man, Jalen Brunson is so different. That I get the Iverson thing because now what we have to remember is AI could play above the rim. He just chose not to.
Right.
Like AI has come down and put as Marbury too. They can play above the rim. I don't think Jalen can necessarily do that. But I get it, a smaller guard. But unlike AI, he's not slight. Jalen probably about 30 pounds heavier than AI was. But as far as what he's doing, I get the AI comp. But to me, and this guy didn't have 3-point range, but he did have the craftiness to finish around the basket. And to me, he reminds me, or he has some shades of Tony Parker in this game. Like Tony Parker was a devastating finisher. He was one of the only small guards shooting over 60% at the rim. Like he was money. It didn't matter if he had 2 7-footers in the paint. He put it down.
That's what reminds me of a little bit.
Tony Parker. Yep.
Just a little bit. All that speed going to the rim. And
yeah, but you got to go on and get a chat your Jalen Brunson comp. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Huh?
So you got to go ahead and give him your Jalen Brunson comp. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. The comp that we were talking about is Tim Hardaway.
Yep.
With that is Tim Hardaway.
Yep.
Because you're talking about a short, stocky, build point guard that can get anywhere on the floor using his quickness over speed.
Yep.
And very crafty, very, very crafty ball handling. It's no doubt.
Yeah, and the thing about it is with like Tim Hardaway, especially when you talk about the Run TMC Tim Hardaway, like people forget how dangerous that dude was devastating. Like If you blink, and you know what brought that come to my attention
What's
was
that?
how he did Keon Ellis the other night.
Yeah.
When he called the fake and hit him with the quick cross and was at the basket, he blinked, he's at the basket. I said, that's Tim Hardaway Sr. right there.
Yeah.
That's what Tim Hardaway Sr. used to do to guys, man. If you blink, he buy you in at the basket.
He gone.
Now he wasn't even top five as far as speed on his team, but with that ball, the ball speedy, with the ball in his hands,
Yeah.
dog. I said,
And
man, I said,
strength around the rim.
yeah, yeah, stocky. Like
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway built like a halfback too.
Yeah.
Just they just different, man.
Yeah.
Those type of point guards are different. Like I've said personally, I said Jalen had more Marbury than Iverson in his game, just based on the strength element. Like AI didn't have the strength element. Man, I get it, the Braves, the look, I'm dragging this team out of hell type
Right.
scenario.
Right.
But I'm gonna be honest, Jalen could, and I hate putting it this way, but he could finish his career with something Iverson didn't have, which is a championship. And that
Oh.
and it's kind of late in the game because he is older. But I'm seeing dudes that were not half as good as he is. It's already in the Hall of Fame. So
Ooh.
if he could put together a legit 5 or 6 year span of this type of production, he can be a Hall of Famer. And we ain't had a Hall of Fame point guard since Clyde.
Since
Like,
Clyde.
and that's
Not in
probably
their
more
prime.
than
Not in their prime.
yeah. And I think he can be that good, but I think what's taking him to the next level is the point guard stuff, the passing the ball, the moving without the ball. That's what's taking him to another level. He's always been a dude, give him the ball, he can go get a bucket. But now he sees the blitz coming, he sees the trap coming, he's letting it come, and then he's making the right play.
Right.
And then when they start saying, "Oh, well, he gonna pass it in," and when they start halfway doing it, he splits the double team. He going to the basket. So the IQ part of it, the point guard part of it, is hitting that next level. So
Right.
I do think they on a championship path, man.
Wow.
I do think they on one, but it's got to happen quick.
Yeah.
Because for the sake of money and the new collective bargaining agreement, it's harder to hold teams together in the long term. Now he's never had to do it before, so the question I would have to ask is, let's say we make the finals, right, and we lose in 6 games. Come back next year and we make the finals again and we lose in 7 games. Is James Dolan the type of owner that'll pay through the nose and say, "Look, we gonna pay whatever luxury tax we gotta pay. We gotta keep this team together and find a way to creatively win a championship." We don't know. We don't know. I would
Yeah.
hope that he is.
Yeah. I would say. I would
I
say.
hope that he is.
I would say that question is unanswered because you've never seen the Knicks be on the verge of a dynasty. You've seen really good Knicks teams, like the '99 team was a really good team, but you
Yeah.
know that team was a team of dudes that you weren't going to be able to keep together. Because Sprewell wasn't going to continue to play the three for the Knicks. Sprewell was a shooting guard playing out of position, right?
Yeah.
He was a shooting guard at 6'5", 190, I think is what they have him listed at. That man was not built to be a small forward in the 90s. You
Nah,
knew
he
where
wasn't.
was going to go,
Yeah, he
right?
wasn't.
Especially when Allen Houston kept getting these contracts, these big money deals, you know what I'm saying, and missing games. You know that wasn't going. You know what it going to. And then plus your franchise player was 38 years old, 37 years old. You know that wasn't going to last. So
Yeah.
him doing a one time go all in for a one time thing, I could see that. I think the question is still an open ended question. Will he give Randall the max? Will he give Brunson the max? Will he give OG Anunoby the max? Will he keep this team together? Does he believe this team right now, if right now, if this team stays together, is this a championship caliber team? Can this team be the best team in the NBA? And I think it all depends on the continued development of Jalen Brunson, the
Yeah.
continued development of OG Anunoby, right? The continued development of other young veteran role players, right? Because at some point, and no disrespect to Josh Hart, but some point at Josh Hart's age, you're going to start getting diminishing returns, right? So
Yeah.
at some point with Randall, you're going to start getting diminishing returns because Randall's 29, he'll be 30 next season, right?
Yeah.
And
And he's having injury issues now. So
yeah, and so it's kind of like I compare it to you remember the Colts running back Edgerrin James?
oh, that's my favorite running back of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, man. That's
Yeah.
my favorite fantasy
Yeah.
running back for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but with Edgerrin James, remember Edgerrin James was really productive every year, didn't have injuries, but as he got to that 28-year-old season, that 29-year-old season, that 30-year-old season, you knew when he was on the field, he may have been the best back in the game, but it kept getting harder and harder to keep him on the field, right? And then they wound up drafting a guy named Joseph Adai out of LSU.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so you like kind of sending those signals, kind of like what the Knicks are doing now with Randall getting OG and Precious. Like, yeah, big boy, we got to get some Randall insurance in here. You know what I'm saying? And so is Dolan going to double down on that? I'm going to say absolutely he is. I'm going to say if the Knicks get, I'm going to say, matter of fact, if the Knicks win 50 games this year, they're going to run it back. Everybody.
Mm.
If the Knicks win 50 games, I think they're bringing everybody back and they're going to pay the tax. They don't care. And I'm talking about everybody, bro. They may even consider bringing Burks and Bogey back, bro.
Man. Ah.
That's the one thing I would like for them to do is upgrade Burks and Bogey. But if you win 50 games, bro, why would you rock the boat?
Well, see, it's not just 50. If not for the injuries, they probably would have won 60. Like this team probably would have won 60 or more. Yeah, and I really mean that. I
Yeah.
really mean that because if not for those injuries, this team would probably be instead of sitting at 41-27, they'd probably be sitting at like
At least
47-20.
at least
Like
yeah.
yeah, like it'd be like 47-20 right now with a realistic shot
Yeah.
of winning 60 games or close to it. Like
Or at least a chance. At least a chance to
yeah,
win 60, right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
probably have to go like 13-2 the rest of the way. Right?
Which is not out of the realm of possibility.
With OG
I mean,
yeah, with OG.
you know, we've seen them do it. So, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if they win 50 games, and this is no disrespect to Missoula, Tibbs should be coach of the year, straight up.
If they win 50 games with this mess they got going on, where you got to start Deuce McBride at the 2 and Dante DiVincenzo at the 3 and Josh Hart at the 4, when you legit rolling out 4 guards,
And
bro,
Hardenstein.
come on, man, and you still win. Yeah, Tibbs coach of the year, bro. Tibbs.
I mean, in my eyes, I personally think he already deserves to be, one of the because Cleveland's had some injuries. Boston had a dude out here and there. But in terms of injuries, nobody had it worse than the Knicks, man.
No.
And the question that I had 2 or 3 weeks ago was, is this team gonna fight or fold? And they've been fighting, and a lot of people don't want to give them the credit due. But you can't tell me that it ain't got nothing to do with Thibodeau. You can't just say, "Oh, it's all Jalen Brunson." No, it ain't all Jalen Brunson. You got to give some credit to Tom Thibodeau. Whether you like him or not, you got to respect the fact that he's winning. Like since he's been here, they had a good season, a poor season, a good season. Now they have another good season. He batted 7,500.
Right.
And he didn't walk into a team that like Frank Vogel did with 2 Hall of Fame players in the starting lineup. So, I mean, we just got to keep it real. Thibodeau got to get more credit for what we seeing out there. And what we seeing
my
out
only
there is
thing,
a
though,
team that nobody wants to play.
if Tibbs wins Coach of the Year 3 times, right? Now you got to look at him. For one, you got to give him a contract extension. If he wins Coach of the Year twice in a 5-year stretch, you got to give him a contract extension, right? And here's the thing: if Tibbs wins Coach of the Year twice in New York, that means Tom Thibodeau is a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh yeah,
that means he's
Definitely.
coached the league MVP, right? He's coached the league MVP, Coach of the Year 3 times without
Most
a
improved
championship.
player.
Yeah, most improved player without a championship. It's easy to say he's not a Hall of Fame coach. But man, when you win Coach of the Year 3 times, bro, and you've only coached what 12 seasons, that's like every 4 years
You win Coach of the Year.
you win Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, with 29 other coaches in the league. Yeah, he Hall of Fame caliber.
Did George
All right.
Karl make it in?
Huh?
Did George Karl make the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. He should be though. He should be a Hall of Fame level coach.
Yeah, he probably in there. Yeah, he probably in there.
Yeah. So,
But I'm excited, man. I know we better get out of here, but I'm excited to see. And as previously stated, the question is, OG Anunoby, bro, are you gonna be tough enough? It's in your hands. We know it is impossible for you to play the rest of the season with no discomfort, bro. But the question is, are you going to be tough enough? Because when you're on the floor, this team is as successful as the '96 Chicago Bulls.
yeah. That's gonna be an interesting conversation for the summertime, bro. When the
Because
summertime,
if he doesn't prove to be tough enough, now we got questions. But if he comes back and this team performs like we think they can, and we talking about, damn man, we were one missed free from making the NBA final.
yeah.
Talking like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like you said. Everybody got to come back. Bring everybody back. Lock them in the gym. Don't let nobody get out of shape over the summertime. Put Mitch in bubble wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Put 2 ankle braces on them. Tell Hardenstein, look, man, we'll try and get you the full mid level. Get your 13 million. Give him the Josh Hart treatment. We'll extend you later. You got to bring everybody back.
You got to bring I think the key to everything is the Bogdanovich and Burks money. Because Burks is making about 10. Bogdanovich is making a lot.
Yeah, like 20.
And can we take that money and either trade them somewhere with a first-round pick to get a stud? Right? Can we trade Bogdanovich and Burks and say some first-round picks to go get a stud shooting guard, maybe? You know what I'm saying? Maybe a stud center. Can you take the money? God, I hate when you do that with shit. You be having people head spinning with all these details and facts, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now you got me thinking about the summertime, bro. I mean, come on. The possibilities are, and Leon Rose and them are the executives of the year, bro. How about that?
It could be. And listen, DeJounte Murray may come available again this summer. He might. He might.
Atlanta would have 2 bogeys.
Yep. And a name I'm interested in. I haven't paid close attention, but I would call him about DeAndre Hunter. It's some names out there, bro. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We got some good players in house. I think we got a good, probably, and this is rare. We got a good 10 guys that are at worst rotational players. At worst.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be competitive in any game, but OG, it's on you now. We know Randall going to play. We know Julius coming back.
Yeah, Randall going to play.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They may rest him till the playoffs get here, but he'll be back. OG,
and if you're Randall, you have a point to prove. Because if this team is winning without you,
yeah, you on the trading block.
Yeah, Randall. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you and your new agency can kick rock. So I mean, it's.
And I love Randall, by the way. I love Randall, but Randall, you're in a precarious situation, bro. If this team continues to roll without you,
Yep.
You know, and I don't think it's sustainable without Randall, by the way. I think this is Randall's team. I think Jalen Brunson is really good. But this team, you need Randall and Brunson together in order to beat the Celtics. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
You're not gonna beat the Celtics without Randall, right? At least I can't see it. If they can, okay. But with that said, you gave me gave me a ton of information to do shorts with, by the way, to do YouTube shorts with as usual, right? You know, because I think you said, is this team fully healthy? Is this a 70-win team?
Hey, to prove a sustainable a month's worth of data, which equated to about almost 20% of the season, says that they are. That when this team is fully healthy, they play at the pace of a 72-win team.
Right, and then those wins, they didn't come against Fruit Loops, bro.
Nah, it was against
they beat
playoff
Philly,
teams, contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that is just the truth. You 30-piece Philadelphia. So I mean,
and then we 40-piece Denver. I think we beat them by what, 38?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then people let us know Jokic was in that game. He played like for almost 40 minutes. He played. So we just smoked them. So I mean, every team always ends up having another team that has their number. You know, even with the 96 Bulls, we had their number.
Yeah, we beat them twice.
Yeah, they had 10 losses and 2 of them was to the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that just happens in sports, but yeah, that's just based on facts. You look at the percentage, it equates to a 72-win team. So we're gonna see what happens, man. You know, we are watching the injury report, more so than anything else. Hopefully we get an update that, OG feels very little pain, it significantly lessens, and they see him, being ready in April and throughout the playoffs, and we can keep it rolling, man.
Yeah. All right, everybody. With that said, of course, Woodshed did not overshot our window per the usual, but it don't matter. It don't matter because the conversation be crazy, bro. Hey,
always, bro.
Hey, so you got anything parting to say before we get out of here? If you want people to check you out on X,
yeah, hit me up on X, man. It's the same as the handle you see on the screen right now. And all I can say is, man, go Knicks, beat Denver, man.
Go Knicks, beat Denver. And listen, if you're the New York Giants front office,
oh God,
wake y'all ass up.
yeah, man.
All right, everybody. We gonna get out of here. Peace, everybody.